guys, good morning. I want to take a quick second and record for you guys something that might help you get your offers accepted in this hyper competitive real estate market that we're experiencing today. So for reference, today is May the 4th of 2021. Over the weekend, we marketed 3 different properties, and last night I got to present all the offers that we received to the sellers and allow them to make the best choice with the best possible buyer moving forward. And one thing that made a huge difference in each one of those cases on the offer that was chosen is the appraisal gap guarantee. Now, for those of you that may not be familiar with this, this is kind of a new thing in real estate contracts, but because the market is appreciating so rapidly, appraisers are having a really hard time determining value on a property. They have to always look backwards, right? Looking at past sold comps to try and determine the value today. Well, when we have appreciation, the likes of what we're seeing in the market today, sometimes that's a very challenging thing to do. And so what a lot of buyers are doing to gain advantage over their competition is they're putting in an appraisal gap, meaning I want to buy this property so badly, and I recognize that there's so much competition that I'm willing to put extra cash above what the bank will give me based on the appraised value of the home. And that appraisal gap guarantee really can strengthen an offer. So let me just share with you the price ranges of the properties that we were negotiating on this weekend. So we had one in the $900,000 range. We had one in the $700,000 range, and we had one in the $400,000 range. What's interesting is in the $400,000 range, we got a complete appraisal waiver. And what that means is the buyer said, regardless of what the appraiser thinks the home is worth, I will pay this price, even if it means that I have to come in with a bunch of cash. Now, in order to do that, you really have to provide proof of funds. You've got to show that you've got the ability to do that. And so that's the $400,000 range, the $700,000 range. And by the way, on each one of those 3 properties, the sellers did not choose the highest net offer. They chose the strongest, highest net offer, which means that those offers that were heavily tied to an appraised value were actually weaker offers because there was no guarantee that the home would appraise. As a real estate agent, I have 0 influence over the appraisal. As a seller, you have 0 influence over the appraisal. And so it's the one thing in the transaction that is 100% out of our control. And I know there's agents that feel like they're really skilled in going back and disputing an appraisal and getting a few extra $1,000. My experience is that is very rare. And when you do get a little bit of a bump in the appraised value, it's usually so small that it has very little impact. So this is probably a better way as a buyer to strengthen your offer. Let's move into the $700,000 range. Again, they chose an offer that was $30,000 less than the highest offer because of a complete appraisal waiver. Once again, the buyer had enough of a down payment that they were able to waive the appraisal completely. That creates a really strong offer for a seller who has no control over the appraisal. In the $900,000 range, the interesting thing is we ended up with 2 properties that are 2 of the offers that gave appraisal that gave an appraisal gap guarantee of $25,000 and $30,000. We ended up taking one with a larger appraisal gap guarantee at a lower price point once again. $25,000 to $30,000 when they had the ability, both offers had the ability to put more than 20% down on the property. And it may have been because they lacked confidence in the price they were paying for the home. It may have been a lot of different factors, but they didn't give enough of an appraisal gap guarantee, and it cost them the opportunity to win the sale. So now they're going back and choosing maybe their second or their third favorite house instead of their favorite house because of the lack of the strength of their offer. Now, let me help you overcome some fear, right? One of the things that I hear from my clients is, Rod, I don't want to drain my savings. I don't want to pull money out of my 401k. I don't want to do those things to buy a house. Here's what I want to share with you. You're not losing that money. It's going from one savings account to another savings account, if that makes sense, right? You're taking it out of a 401k where there's possibly an upside, or let's be honest, a downside to the stock market, right? Maybe you're having to pull it out of your cryptocurrency investments. And again, there's possibly an upside, there's possibly a downside. Each one involves risk. It's a place to store our funds. Or you can put that savings into an appreciating asset like your home, right? A home, because it's a commodity, has an inherent value because of the land. People may be worried that we're in a little bit of a bubble. Based on all the experts, it doesn't look like we are. We still have room to go up in this market. But even if we are in a bubble and we hit the top and all of a sudden the market corrects a little bit and your home drops in value 8%, 10%, you spend $900,000 on a home, and after a year, that home is now worth $810,000, right? Well, here's what I want you to know. There's an upside and a downside to everywhere where you store your money. But with a home, if the value of the home goes down and you're forced to sell your home at a lower price than what you paid for it, you still have to live somewhere. You're likely going to be buying another home. And guess what happened to that home's value? The same thing that happened to yours. Everything went down in value. So you're buying your next home at a discount, even though you sold your home at maybe a little bit of a discount, or at least that's what the story that you have in your mind is, hey, I lost some money in my home. Well, then you bought another home that also lost money and you bought it at a discount. So when the market appreciates again, or when the market changes the cycle, you didn't lose anything. So that money is still yours. Anything you put down on your home is less money that you owe on your home, and you're moving yourself forward with an asset that you still own. So you didn't lose anything, right? I probably beat that to death, but I just wanted to share that with you and just to have a mindset. Yes, it's a little bit less liquid, right? It's not as easy to get your hands on that cash. Sometimes that's a good thing when it's in a savings account. I hope this helps you guys, but here's what I would recommend. In a market like this, there are great homes and there are some that are not so great. When you find the right home in the right location, be willing to go all in. Not because you're losing anything. If it means you got to pull money out of one savings account, put it into another, that's okay. Go all in, put your biggest appraisal gap guarantee in there, because an appraiser has not got the ability to gauge actual value in today's market. The value of a home has nothing to do with the appraisal. The value of a home is what a buyer is willing to pay and a seller is willing to accept. It has nothing to do with the appraised value. The appraisal is there to protect the bank's loan. That's it. So try not to get stuck on what is my home's appraised value. In a market like this, the appraisers do not have the ability to judge the actual value of the home. All right, you guys, I know that's a lot of information. Hopefully that will help you to strengthen your offers and win multiple offer bids